What is going on, guys? It is JJ here, back with another FIFA U20 World Cup reaction. We're in the quarterfinals, day 2, and we kicked off today with the matchup between the United States versus Ecuador. And I'm not gonna as heartbroken as I should be, I'm beyond proud of this US U20 squad. They play, and they played in this game, some of the most potent attacking football, most beautiful football I feel like that they could have really done, and I feel like they really did do everything that they needed to do in this contest. It's just that this Ecuadorian team was better on the day, and in terms of efficiency, that Jose Fuentes goal outside of the box, tucked it in right into the corner, and it was a great goal to sort of kick everything off. And I feel like from that point on in the first half, everything kicked off. Timothy Weah scoring from a deflected header, rather a saved header from a corner, eventually tucking that in to put it at 1-1, and then a couple minutes later, another opportunity for Ecuador, this time close inside the box, easily tucked away. And then the second half was the U.S. essentially trying to break down Ecuador. And Ecuador, this U20 squad themselves, have been absolutely excellent. I feel like throughout this entire U20 World Cup, they had a tough group in general, trying to make their way out into the knockout rounds of this U20 World Cup. They did a great job as well to then get through the round of 16 to get to this point, getting through Uruguay, may I add, who also had such a good squad at the U20 level. So coming up against the U.S., I feel like Ecuador, they had the high hopes. They knew that they could do what they had to do, knew that they could do what they had to accomplish as well coming into this contest. And the U.S., on the other hand, you know you have to get it done efficiently. The front three, I feel like they were a little bit off in this game compared to games past. You know, De La Fuente could not really get into the game as much as he usually does. Sebastian Soto found a hard time getting the ball as well. Timothy Weah, I feel like, came to the ball a lot more, but he, you know, had some trouble. I feel like the introduction of Ledesma helped out to some degree in terms of ball movement and ball progression, going from that deep line midfield spot all the way to, you know, try to shift defense into attack and so forth and so on. But it just, you know, towards the end of the game, it just became too late. So the strikers were finally getting involved later in the game. It just didn't quite work out in the U.S.'s favor. But in this contest, the U.S. 13 shots in total, 6 on target, compared to Ecuador, who I believe had only 11 shots and only 4 on target. So when we're speaking about efficiency, Ecuador, they've been that way this whole tournament, because they don't really have these amazing superstars. They have a couple guys who are being, you know, recruited by the likes of Barcelona, Real Madrid, these academies, but at the same time, they just play beautiful team football. And it's something that we saw yesterday, I feel like, with the best performance from the Ukraine, rather not the Ukraine, just Ukraine. They were absolutely excellent in terms of, you know, ball progression, passing, the little ticky-tacky things that you want from your football team in terms of one-touch passing and in terms of through balls. They find these little niche pockets that they can get into, and they just find their way through what would be better opposition. And Ukraine were very good at it yesterday in their quarterfinal. Italy as well, towards the ending of the game, were very efficient at it, facing off against Mali. And Ecuador did the exact same, except that, you know, it's just more towards the close of the first half rather than the second half. I thought the U.S. were outstanding in the second half. It's just tucking away your chances. And speaking of tucking away your chances, Timmy Weah's header at the end of the game and Ledesma's shot at the end of the game. Oh, I wanted to just, I was so sad. I was like, we're so close. It was so close to finally, you know, getting a tie, like a last-minute goal, which we've seen so many of so far at this U20 World Cup, and to sort of send it into extra time where anything can happen. But it just wasn't meant to be for today, and it's a little unfortunate. It's very sad. At least the U.S., you know, U20 squad can hold their heads high and say that they took out what is, in my opinion, the most talented U20 squad out of any that were here in this France team in the round of 16, which I don't think anybody really saw that coming. I feel like U.S. fans, especially myself, I did not see that coming. But I just got to give all props to this U.S. squad. Timmy Weah has shown himself through and through. Sebastian Soto, you can see why there's links to Dortmund for him. He's played wonderful throughout this U20 World Cup. Conrad de la Fuente, you can see why he's at the Barcelona academies already. He played excellent. A lot of these guys played so well. Sarvinha, as well as another big shout out. Mendes is another big shout out. Abubakar Keita is another shout out. This U20 squad has played excellent throughout this U20 World Cup. And Ecuador have continued to play excellent as well, and they're going to continue on because they will be heading to the semifinals, and it's going to be interesting to see if Ecuador can make the final, because I feel like at this point, with the momentum that they have and the play style that they've been continuing to play, they seem like a team that could actually make it to that final and maybe even end up winning the U20 World Cup. So you guys should let me know your thoughts on the USA versus Ecuador U20 contest. Ecuador winning 2-1 over the United States, and they'll be moving on to the semifinals. US U20 squad can only hold their heads high as they will, head home just a little bit earlier than probably anticipated. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, and peace.